Hey everyone, welcome to the stream, everybody. Set some stuff to the side. Hey, Mad Delirious. Jeanette, thanks for joining in. I'll reach one in 1 minute, so one break, please. Christmas time. A little early for that. Ben Massey, thanks for joining. Oh man. Packing art tonight, and we are starting on a brand new piece, guys. Got the sketch done up on it. Super excited for this new piece. And hopefully going to start the process of getting the panel prepped and all that fun stuff. But we got to pack some art for show in June. So that's the first thing. Okay, that's good. Gage, thanks for joining in. Awesome. Alright, and we're going to do this the long way. I would much rather have enough of my glassine to wrap than not. Hell yeah. Two F's. Delirious out of your mind? Are you a professional or something? I think so, man. I've been doing this. Elman Berg supporter over on Twitch. Yeah, man, I've been doing this for over 15 years now. So I feel that's professional enough. I've been doing this. I've been in enough art shows. But yeah, I got a new show in June at Stranger Factory showcasing these guys for their, God, there we go, angles. Big Top Menagerie show. Circus themed show. There you go. Look, I go by Art Dad for a reason because I am a dad. So, thank you. I am hitting the big 40 this year, so that's a thing. But yeah, No, I've been doing this shit for a while, man. Since I graduated college, I've just been full-time artist. Well, not full-time. I've been in and out of like regular ass gigs. Did the whole um, office shit, like the 9 to 5 bullshit. Between like tech call centers and fucking, I did some graphic design gigs. Um, my most recent, like, did some freelance stuff for some companies here in the Philadelphia area. My most recent graphic design gig that was like full time was Verano and Zenleaf, their dispensary. So that was a really interesting experience. But yeah, I like to keep it diversified. But yeah, I've been doing actually like full on, been doing full time art. Like I've been painting for a while now, but like I said, 15 years. But I only recently just started legit full time art because company, like I said, Toronto was a company I worked for, and then they decided to let me go. And now I'm doing this. So yeah, and this is part of the whole creative process that nobody really shows because it's boring as sin, but packing your art correctly is so goddamn important. Um, like I said, nobody wants to talk about it because it's boring as hell, but it is such a key aspect of being a professional artist. And I think it's important to showcase that. So yeah. Thanks, Albert Manberg supporter. I'm hoping I'm saying that right. Jeez. But yeah. All right. I think we are also going to do my due diligence. Yeah, I try. I do my damnedest, but everyone has their own way of doing their username, and I'm not going to judge anyone. I'm just going to call my own self out that I'm probably not going to say it right. We're also going to do some video stuff too, because that is the glorious thing about being an artist in fucking 20th century bullshit is you got to be a content creator too. Actual drawing is it's a very small pane if you want to show someone in person. Yeah, man, getting your art out there is hard as hell. Like I said, I've been doing this for 15 years. I graduated college in 09 and I got into a few small galleries here and there through like connections I had from college, but they were again really tiny, no name galleries. I sold nothing. First major break I'd say I got was in was that 2012? I did that show 2012 or maybe a little after that. Gotta have a website so you have all of your stuff, and this is so key. So I can actually go and check my CV so I can remind myself about this shit. Let's see. Stockroom, Cult of Meow. Where are you? 2016. technically 2015 was like the first like major show I had with a place called Off the Wall Gallery at Dirty Frank's here in Philly. And then that brought me into a juried exhibition or like an invitational where I really got like that first dopamine hit of actually selling art. And I had like nine or 10 pieces in there, and I sold like, no, actually more than that because I had a bunch of tiny ones too. I'd say I had like close to 15 pieces, and I think I sold 10. You got plenty of time. So yeah, at 17 you don't have much, but like one of the things no one is going to tell you at any age, be it 17, be it at 20, be it at 30, be it at fucking 40, is that no one is just going to invite you to galleries or invite you to share your stuff. They might once or twice, like if you talk, but it's absolutely crucial to have a website. But again, you got time to figure that shit out. I'd say at this point in time, enjoy the process. Paint, draw, have fun, do whatever the hell you want to do. To actually just enjoy the creative process. You can figure out if you really want to do art as a career, you can figure that shit out later. Because right now, it's about figuring out what you want to do with your creativity. To the drawings I've done myself. Yeah, I got no problem. I'm always down for that. I don't. Let me see. This is only. I'm still like getting into the streaming stuff. Yeah, and that's fine. Having a creative hobby that you can turn into a career is absolutely nice. Like it's an option, but if you just want to keep it a hobby, keep it a hobby. That shit's cool. There's no stress and no need to do that out. How do I want you to share stuff? Yes, I do have Discord. That is probably going to be the easiest one. I'm actually working on creating my working on a Philly Art Dad Discord server because it's one of those things I should just have. Gamer Forever. Yeah, let me actually. Pull up that stuff. The one thing I did not pull up to have prepped for that. But yeah, this like thank you for asking to share. I do appreciate that. One of the things I want to do in the future is definitely do some actual like live critiques on the actual streams here. Because I think that's really pivotal is working with other artists, connecting with other artists, and just going down that path. You gotta bear with me. I'm in the process of doing a whole big. I'm working on building a new computer, so I'm working on a very ancient one that I've had for way too damn long. So it's taking its time. So bear with me. We're good. Drawings that I've done from looking at, and that's the best way to start. Yeah, reference images. That is the best way to start things. Just like when you say drawings, are we talking like pencils, colored pencils, or are you actually getting to like wet mediums, like acrylics as well? Like, I'm just curious what I'm. Cool. That looks good. Yep. Pending. pencils, color. Yeah. Let me actually grab your Discord handle. You're not going to let me? Alright, I got it. It's going to make me hand type it in because I can't grab the actual gamer forever 2229. You're just having me. Alright. I don't want to add a server. Find or start a conversation. Okay, that's being pencils. Although technically school has art classes and I've done some of them and not interested in more color painting scenes. You definitely got to go to the mediums you're interested in, and I am sorry that I cannot. Discord's being weird. And it's not letting me start a conversation. That's stupid. Actually. Alright. You might be the first to get into the Discord server because yeah, let me see what I can do here. I'm managing like 3 different things right now, so it's all good. Look, having people in the chat is always clutch, and I enjoy having anything and just anyone who's coming in to actually interact with the chat. So super appreciate it just from that. So thank you for being here today. But yeah, we're just having some trouble. Technical difficulties. Also, thank you for the follow, man. I do greatly appreciate that. It's such a meager goal of 10 followers on Twitch, but it is everyone freaking counts. So thank you. Appreciate that. Studio. Invite people. Here we go. Copy. Twitch. Stream Manager is being slow as shit on Twitch. Here we go. Connecting. Good times, good times. We're getting there. Like I said, I am absolutely trying to build a new computer. I got a buddy of mine who's already helping me out with that stuff. And I desperately need it. Black. Give. How are we doing elsewhere? TikTok land. We got a lot of people scrolling by. Feel free to jump in, guys. Add some questions. I enjoy things. Yeah, there we go. Yeah, it's just being slow as sin. It's coming up. It's just like I said. Bam. I'm dropping the Discord server link in there for you. Go ahead and click that and join the server. You're literally going to be the first one because I haven't really been making a lot, but I'm going to start using this tonight. Did it not go? Damn it, come on. Did it not? There we goes. It just didn't hit. So, there we go. Yeah. Hell yeah. All right. There we go. So hopefully that'll work for you. And we got a channel in there called Critique Work in Progress and Critique Finish. So drop the pictures in there, whichever one is appropriate for your current piece of art, and I'll take a look at it. Hell yeah. Let me see. Display capture. Huh? That's so dumb. Drop a link for where you have it on Reddit. I'll look it on there. Because that might just be easier tonight. While I get the stuff figured out. So, sorry for that. That sucks, but hey. I will get that figured out. I don't know why. So yeah, like I said, go ahead and drop the Reddit in there. That might just be easier. I don't know why it's not doing it. Everything is being weird. Well, you get that loaded up. Get that link over for me. I'm gonna start getting some B-roll, man. I sent a Discord DM. Can you see it? Let me check. Hey, I think you got it. There we go. And yep, I'm in. I can see it. So yeah, go ahead and drop the pictures in there, and I will gladly take a look. Huh? There we go. Fantastic. All right. we are gonna pardon my mess on the stream as I just get an actual. Why can't I think of it? Get an actual thing so I can pop it on the screen. So we got, if you don't mind sharing it with everyone else, I think that would be really awesome. I don't need a new scene. Not what I'm trying to do. Here I'm coming in. Okay. Awesome. Thank you. One came through. I know you said you had two. Let me get everything set up here. Obviously, this is not something I planned for, so thank you for the patience as I try to convince OBS to do what I want it to do. Can I just... Nope, can't drag it over there. That's silly. That would make my life so much easier. If I could... Oh, shit. Sorry, TikTok. Switched up on me there. I heard the other one. Okay, cool. Let me throw that up here. TikTok is sadly going to get... Open them up now. Okay. I need a new computer. I need a second monitor so I can actually get this stuff figured out. There we go. Hopefully that'll do. That's canvas settings. Your patience is insurmountable, and I do greatly, greatly appreciate it. And I have no idea why it's not letting me add it to TikTok canvas, but that's fine. Can I add a source? That's a scene. I want to add scenes. I want to add a new source. Come on, OBS. Got a kid running around there. Hey, add source. Oh no. Where is a display? Window capture. Here we go. Display capture. Here we go. Finally. Yay. Oh man, that took way longer than it absolutely should have. I apologize. We're getting there. Technical shit, man. Just all this technical BS. Capture method, Windows. Alright, now. Okay, there we go. TikTok is going to get a bit of a weirdness. going on here. There we go. Yeah. All right. Cool. We're going to see a bunch of it should be live. Okay. We got it up on Twitch. You can see multiple. You can see OBS there. All right, we're gonna pull it up. So yeah, I figured I'd pull this one. This is the first one. All right. Is this movie Scorpion or? Yeah, should be working now. But yeah, so we looking at movie Scorpion or one of the games? Because I know every design they change it up. Yeah, there's some cool shit out there. Pull up my Twitch app. Okay, MK11. Nice. I have not gotten a chance to play that one. Okay. So. Let me take a look here. Okay, so you lost the original reference image you used all that time ago. Yeah, it's all good. It is not a problem to lose the reference images. That's just one of those things. All right, here we go. Now I can actually see the freaking chat while I actually lose full screen. Yeah, no, I'm digging it. Like you said, you drew this from the reference image. You drew this from the game. Colored pencils too, I'm assuming, correct? From what I'm seeing here. If it is colored pencils, which I'm assuming it is, definitely, I'm not gonna lie to you. Colored pencils are one of those mediums that it's very tough to get smooth blends. Like I avoid it because I can't get those like nice smooth blends that I really want to. So yeah, no, I like it. Like you said you're 17, so this is something you do for a hobby. I think this is great. This is a good foundation. 5 year ago, majority crayons here. Oh, even more so because yeah, crayons are even harder to blend. So more power to you. It's doable, but most crayons out there are not great at blending. Yeah, no. As far as so overall, it is proportionate. It looks like the face gets a little wide on this side right here, close to the right eye. So what's considered the right eye, right over on here. So that might be something you want to tighten up. It looks like you got a little lopsided on there, but that's easy. That's easy enough to do. That's learning. That would just be learning that proportion, which doing that, I think it's called like the Loomis head, where you draw like a circle, a line down the middle, a line through the middle, going crosswise, and that'll help you tighten up the proportions in the face. So that's a super easy thing to improve upon what you do, what you've done there. So yeah, I think this, like I said, you're working from a reference of an existing material. And again, I say kudos to you for doing it in crayon, man. Oh man, that is yeah. That's my second image I've ever done myself. Awesome, that's fantastic. Like that is still stuff to be proud of. Like no one's first attempt is going to be the best thing ever. I want to pull up the Tails ones, maybe from a week ago. All right. Yeah, and I see you share the reference. Right on. Classic game Tails. So yeah, again, more power to you for doing like the full body. This is looking like crayon again. I actually see like um, yeah, I kind of figured with the that's what you meant. We were talking about the scorpion draw. No, I'm looking at the Tails one right now because I want to do it. Don't worry about hands, even for copying them. Like hands are the hardest things to draw. This like, but like kudos to you for like the shading you're getting on the tails of Tails, and I even see it under here under the chin. That's really good stuff to be working on. Oh, only colored pencil. That would explain it. Colored pencil does blend better than crayon, but still hard as hell to blend. Like I've seen too many people. The best thing I can suggest for coloring with colored pencil is very thin layers when you color. I know the initial idea with colored pencils is to immediately just go get the color down, get it as vibrant as possible. But when you want to try to level up your colored pencil game, definitely work in thin layers. Hold the pencil lightly. It might not look like much, but you can build up layers and layers of color, and you're going to get a more consistent gradient and a more consistent why can't I think of the word? A more consistent, just blend. Sure, we'll go with that. And color too. And you'll get that vibrancy going there. But yeah, look, these are great starting points to go forward. So thank you for sharing them, and thank you for allowing me to put them up on the stream here. That's really awesome of you. Sometimes it's softly so I could use other similar shades of yellow on top of the tails. Yeah, that's exactly what you want to do. Um, Thin layers is the thing. I think that's something that not a lot of people talk about in art enough. Like when we're young and when we're first introduced to these mediums, it's always like, here, just have fun. And I love that concept. But as we get older, the depending on your art teacher or who's teaching it, like I said, either through in school or if you have somebody who's helping you out personally that is not a teacher, it's hard. It like they might not realize that, and especially if they're not a teacher themselves. So yeah, thank you for sharing. I do appreciate it. That's awesome. So yeah, these are great efforts. I like that subtle shading in the why can't I think of it in the white. That's always good to see that. One of the things, now this is obviously a video game and I can't see it, but when you shade in white, and this might be, it's going to be really hard to see in some of your reference images here. White is never, a lot of times we assume that we shade white with, grays, that kind of thing. And yeah, you do have a lot of grays here and that. But you did tackle something, obviously, like when you shaded the tails and the hair I saw in your original, in the piece you did. You're obviously shading with a different version of that color. So, like, obviously, this is just a darker yellow. One of the things that I would suggest, one of his hairs off, and you're gonna get the proportion with time. Like, I feel like practice, as long as you keep practicing, you're gonna get, proportions right. Um, so I wouldn't fret about that. Like, yeah, it's practice, and it's you're gonna get that with time. So don't fret about that. I feel like a lot of things we miss out, like your proportion, you'll learn your proportions. Even here, like I was talking with the scorpion piece. Yeah, I know. They love hopping in here and always doing that. Like they see a small streamer and they're like, oh, they're desperate. So hey, um, where was I? So like one thing I was mentioning with your scorpion piece, like with the proportions of the head. Um, let's go back to that one. So one of the things I mentioned with this, obviously, someone I mentioned with the scorpion head, like you got this is great. You got that nice center line. I can see that division, but your space between the side of the face and this head, like right here, is a little is like that's nice. That's probably exactly where it is. And then if we go over here, like if we continue this from the mask, like I know this is the mask, but I know they generally hug pretty close. We follow that line. The edge of his face ends up being somewhere way over here. So that's proportions, and that's something you can easily fix. Like I said, I think it's the Loomis method or the Loomis skull, Loomis head, whichever you say. It's just you draw the circle, you draw the line down the middle, and then you draw the line across where the eyes would be, and then you can break down the proportions of like eyes fall here, um, nose falls here, mouth falls here. You could really apply that similar concept to your tails piece here. So if we go back to the actual like reference, it applies. Obviously, his proportions are a lot more exaggerated, but at the end of the day, his head's a circle. So start with the basis there. And then if I'm looking at it, it's probably cut it into thirds for Tails' head. His nose is going to be on that lower third. The eyes are going to hit somewhere just past that upper third. And then it's a matter of fitting the mouth in. Again, cartoons are obviously more cartoony proportions. They don't function the same as humanity, but hey, it's taking concepts and applying them to where you want them to be. And it's just about breaking it down. One of the things I also recommend, if you have the ability to do this, to help essentially train your muscles to actually get, train for muscle memory. Print this out or like get a print out of this, and then actually just draw on it. Like trace over the shape of this and then try to break down the proportions. Like obviously break down, here's the center line of Tails' face. Here's where the eyes hit. Here's where the nose hits. Here's where the mouth hits. Obviously, I'm not endorsing you to trace an image and call it your own, but like for practice purposes, I think that's perfectly fine. Where would you start if you were to draw that Tails? We were just talking a while ago. You typed that question. Like I said, I think the biggest thing that when learning all this stuff, especially when cartoons, is basic shapes. Break it down. Like I said, just for practice purposes, like I don't know if you have like the ability, like if you have like an iPad. I know there's a bunch of free drawing apps out there, or if you just want to print this out on a piece of paper and do this. But like I said, actually like analyze the shapes. Like this is the head. This is this shape. It's kind of this a circle, just squish the sides in. I know that's an oval, but it has a little bit more. Figure out like, okay, this is the proportions of the ears. The best tool you got in transferring it is your pencil. I love the tool of using your pencil to proportion it. Like when I have a reference image up on the screen, I will just take my pencil, hold it up, like close an eye, hold it up, kind of like, all right, measure it. All right, there's my measurement for we'll say for tails, like there's the measurement for the eye. I know that the measurement for the eye, if I do the same thing, is actually just shy of being the same height. So this eye is actually just shy of being the same height as this ear. So that helps with the proportions. Like, so that's another way that you can absolutely take this to the next level. I think that would be the best way to go. But yeah, try tracing it. Like I said, obviously, if you trace it, no one's going to assume you are the one that designed Tails. Tails is a pretty well-known figure. But yeah, we're going to throw that off. We're going to come back to the regular stream now. I always want it to... Okay, funny monkeys. I love monkeys. I mean, I'll take the sub. Hell yeah. Whatever, man. Hey, monkeys are badass, man. Like, always fun. So I love monkeys, and it sucks. Thanks for the tips, of course, but I meant like when actually starting to draw the image, where would you start? Oh, yeah. Sorry for that. Teacher brain kicks in and does that kind of things. Yeah, so again, basic shapes first. I would start probably center S. Figure out the shape of Tails' body. Like it's more of a bean. Get that proportion right, and then you can build from there. I think that's the best way to do it. So, God, I need a new sketchbook. This one is doing it. This is going to be the hardest thing to do here. I need a multi-camera setup. Make sure you pull that picture of Tails up. Shit, now I'm forgetting how Tails looks. Yeah, so like you got kind of a bean shape. And like I'm doing this really quick. And then from there you can be like, cool, his head is at minimum the same height as his head, so we know that that will be the top of his head, and it's definitely wider than the head. Yeah, I think it's easy to like, when I draw bodies and I draw characters, definitely starting from center mass. Hi, Orca, over on YouTube. Thanks for hopping in. We're chatting art tips right now. So right now we're talking about, to everyone who's just joined, I'm seeing a bunch of people on YouTube, which is awesome. Thank you for hopping in. I see people on TikTok also scrolling through, so appreciate everyone who has been popping in and whatnot. Whenever I look at a character, definitely, like I said, breaking them down in those shapes. Tails is very much a bean for a body, big old melon for a head, and it's a matter of finding the proportions. I'm hoping that answers your question there about where I would start for that. And then, like I said, it's just building out those shapes to actually get what you want. But yeah. But I see we also got a bunch of other people in the chat now, which is super awesome. Funny Monkeys and Oiko over on YouTube hopped in. That's fantastic. Victorian Knight joining in over on TikTok. Always love to see all you guys joining in on this. So again, if you have questions on just art in general, like general art tips, that's what I'm here for. If you are new here, like I said, as the name implies, Art Dad. I'm here. You got questions? How do you learn drawing? Practice. You do it. You pick up a pencil, and it's gonna look like hell for the first couple of years, but you'll get there. Yeah, bro, God, like that is. I'm glad I answered up. Probably, definitely lurk. I love lurkers. Always appreciate it. It's great. My favorite thing to draw, skulls. I love animal skulls. They have been a major focal point of my artwork. Like this is one I'm working on. I got to actually get them packed up to ship out to New Mexico. There we go. For a circus themed show in June at Stranger Factory. So skulls have always been a big part of my work. I'm even working on this guy right now. This is the one we just started. I'm going to lift that up there. So this is for a show in August, As Above, So Below. Again, skulls. I got a vulture skull, a lion skull in this. It always comes down to skulls. Very good here with a lot of time. Is it capable to be very good in a year with a lot of time? You will definitely get better. I don't know what you're starting with, but if you put in the time, you'll definitely improve. Like, I know on YouTube, I think PewDiePie did the whole thing. Like, he drew every day for a whole year. And I actually saw, I watched a little bit of, thank you, Oika, appreciate it. Like, I saw his actual stuff. Yeah. Let's see it. Yeah. That quote me on that. It'll look like hell for the first couple of years. I like that one. Might have to go back and clip that one. That'll be my new slogan. It no longer stay weird, art kid. It is now, it'll look like hell for a couple of years. But the improvement will be there. If you actually commit to drawing and not just drawing the same thing, like if you draw the same thing, yeah, you'll get better at drawing the thing. But it's also important to actually diversify what you draw. One of the things I love to, but there are obviously smaller ones out there that you can get that you can literally slip in your back pocket, put in your backpack, whatever. And I love a good mechanical pencil, but literally just wherever you're at, take 10, 15 minutes, draw something. There is a wealth of reference images online. It's just a matter of committing to the bit. Do the actual drawing, do the actual painting. I'm not going to say you're going to win art awards in a year from going from nothing to something. That's not feasible. Like I said, I have personally, I think I've legitimately been cultivating being an artist since I was 7. That's when I really started loving art because of my amazing art teacher back in my hometown. I see what are some good places to get references. I will be there. Answer that in a second. Let me finish this up. But that is something I knew I liked. I knew I liked art, and I wanted to do that. So I made sure, whenever art classes was great. Also having a really amazing art teacher and a mentor like that was key. Having someone who supported me. So making sure that if you have someone like that, I talk a lot about finding your tribe, finding people who want to actually be helpful to you. That's so important. But yeah, then it's a matter of once you're on your own, you are on your own. So you are going to have to be a stickler for yourself and making sure you do it. I have 2 hours a day when my kid is napping. So I make sure I do as much art as possible. As far as references go, The key with references, first off, don't, like, especially if you are a professional artist and you plan on selling your work, um, do not use copyrighted images. That is so key. Like, the likelihood of you getting caught is not that high, especially when you're just starting out. But as far as references that are royalty free, Pexels, Pexels, is a great source for bumping the desk and shaking the camera. Sorry for that. Pexels is a great source for royalty free images that you can utilize in your work. Again, I do not condone just straight up copying a photo that someone else took, even royalty free. That still feels a little sketch. But if you use references to create a bigger piece, I definitely think that'll be good. Other things that I used as references for myself, HeroForge.com. It's a little miniature building, like a 3D modeling miniature for like tabletop RPGs. When I need to figure out like a certain body pose, I pop in there. I can like equip a sword and shield and do some cool shit with that and really dial in the pose so I know what, okay, these are the proportions I'm looking at. And then, okay, I can expand my proportions from there. Hero Forge is great for that. If you have the ability to do like if you got a camera, you got a phone, so you have a camera. Just take pictures wherever you're at. If you see some cool shit, take pictures of it. I like collecting my actual references, so I can actually refer to them later. Like if I see a cool pattern on a building, snap a picture of it so I have that in my digital like image library to reference later. I mentioned I do skulls, so one of the things I do, I'm going to step off camera over here. And I like to purchase my own references. So I like I said, I paint skulls. So of course I buy skulls. Like there's a lot of cool oddity shops here in Philly. I do a lot of like punk rock flea markets. I get skulls because they're awesome and they're cool as hell to have. But what's cool about this kind of thing, again, if you can afford it, is it's something you can hold in your hands and you can turn it around. And I saw some other questions too by Brugod. I'm going to get to you as well and other questions. But the cool thing, obviously, about having an object is you can hold it, you can take it apart, inspect it, and analyze the actual workings of it. But if you're looking for just a straight up source for images, like I said, Pexels is great for just copyright free images. Hero Forge, if you're looking to be more, I want to draw a model or like a specific person doing a specific thing. Those are my two top ones for that. Let's see. Do you think animating with art is even harder then? Because I really want to animate frame by frame. So if we were talking frame by frame, like actual 2D, like traditional animation, it's you got to understand the actual way things move. It just means you're drawing a lot more. So like I do just traditional art. I paint on panels. It's one frame, and it's definitely one thing. But I sink a lot of time into each piece. Like a piece can take me anywhere from a month to 2 months, depending on the size and complexity of it. I think digital animation, like 3D animation, is a monster I have never done. I also can't really speak to animation because it's not something personally. The Animator's Survival Kit by Richard Williams. If you want to just learn the basics of animation and how things work, that is a clutch book. Like that is the Bible for animation.
I would definitely recommend picking it up and just flipping through and checking it out. I actually have on the, I think I have it on, I know on YouTube where you're watching Bro God, there's a link in my bio to my recommendations. I don't know if that one's in there yet, but I will make sure to add it. Because, yeah, the Animator's Survival Kit is such a good book if you're looking at animation. Even if you're just looking at drawing and figuring out how the body moves. That is a huge thing. So I highly recommend looking at that. Yeah, what am I doing? There we go. I'm gonna make sure I add that so I can do that. So yeah, I definitely think animation is the next step up. Like, learn how to draw, figure out like, yeah, I can draw a person or I can draw this thing. Now, how do I animate it? Because all traditional animation is just literally drawing the same thing over and over and over. So you got to be good at drawing that thing. Keo, I saw your question. I'll get to that in this. Back over on Twitch. So what if I sold my Tails picture? Would that not be good because of the reference image I used and me copying it? Was it copying? Again, there's a fine line between, I think, fan art and just like, you're obviously not claiming you drew Tails. That is not what is going on here. If you sell it to like a friend for like however, I don't think you're not going to get in trouble. I think what I'm talking about in using copywritten images is it's more so about being, is the artwork transformative? You're not selling, because like this is that kind of distinction. Like I get a lot of this, and I know like there's so many people, like the whole AI conversation of like, oh well, AI steals artwork and they do this, and like yeah, I do, like mainly because they do it without permission. But I think as artists, we don't want to sell art that's not our own. I think as artists, we want to create our own unique vision. Case in point, I'm working not this piece, not the big one that I showcased earlier that I can with the vulture and the lion, but I have an idea for a celestial themed show that I really want to do like a Cthulhu-esque character for that. I am not going to go and look at other artists' versions of Cthulhu because that's their version. I want to create something that's unique. So taking the idea of Cthulhu and putting my own spin on it. Like, people have painted Cthulhu multiple times, so that is not something that I'm super concerned about. So yeah, I don't think you are in trouble for if you want to sell that to like a friend. You're not going to be, but if and when the day comes, you want to be a professional artist and you want to sell in the gallery, you're obviously not going to get away with doing a picture of Tails unless, like I said, the work's transformative enough. I know for a fact a gallery that I work with closely, actually, who the new piece that I'm working on is for, Arch Enemy Arts here in Philly. They actually have essentially a fan art show every year called With Love Your Biggest Fan. And I want to do it so bad because I have some really cool ideas. I do have one in my back pocket of a Witcher piece that I really want to do. Really love the Witcher series. Finished most of the camera zooming in on its own. It's doing the thing again. But that's some cool shit. Like, you can do that. You can do fan art. Just make it original. Does that make sense? I hope that makes sense. Question from Keo: what are your favorite mediums? So my medium of choice currently that I've been essentially doing exclusively for 2019. So we're talking 2021, almost 6 years now. Probably a little closer, like 7 or 8 years.
that I was building up an actual like base of this has been acrylic paint. Um, I hate oil. I do not like oil paint. I do not like that it takes super long ass times to drive. It's like I can't deal with it. Acrylic is like that nice. I can get some like nice juicy like blends. I just thin out my paints, or I can go really super thick and opaque. So it's this nice medium that I love working with, and it does some really great things. Um, that I enjoy. So yeah, acrylic is like my absolute favorite one. I've also done graphite, like actual like just pencil drawing. Like I had a little swing in that. Watercolor I dabbled in a little bit before. Um, I don't think there's. I would give most mediums a try. Like I said, acrylic is where I landed right now. And weirdly enough that you ask, like, I had a video idea of this and like as a one-off joke. Like, again, I think all mediums have their place. There's just one medium I absolutely fucking hate, and that is oil pastels. Oil paint I can deal with. I can paint oil paint. Do I like how long it takes to dry? Do I like the fact that I have to have like my mineral spirits and linseed oil and all this other bullshit to make it work properly? No. Oil pastels can go right the fuck to hell. Um, Absolutely not. Oil pastels are the worst. They're chunky. They're gross. And like, kudos to people who can work with them. I don't want to. They suck so hard. But yeah, like I said, acrylic is my favorite, and I love it. Um, that's what these guys are. These are all acrylic paint on wood panel. The only thing that is a consistent in all my stuff that's kind of hard to see on camera, like some of these other elements here that you see on the outside, that's actually embroidered thread. If I flip it over, you can see it. Like that is through and through. I take needle and thread, and all of my pieces have this embroidered element to it. It has this cool 3D effect that I absolutely love. I find when oil pastels, they always snap in my hands. I have never seen an oil pastel snap because they're all chunky and weird. Chalk pastels snap like hell, but they're chalk. But I like chalk pastels. But yeah, people who use oil pastels are weird. they must know some fucking black magic that I do not, because I don't get it. I don't understand oil pastels, and what they do. Survival kit. Yeah. Bro, God, I have not forgot about you with that animator's survival kit. I'm actually, like I said, I have a whole these are like the things that I use. I have like a thing called Venable where it's like, hey, you can check this stuff out. Um, I'm adding the animator's survival kit. Like I said, if you are really interested in animation and learning about like not only the drawing aspect, but like the actual communicating movement through animation, highly, highly, highly recommend looking at the the animator's survival kit. It is the holy grail, or Bible, I should say, for animators. So highly recommend that for you. This is also part of being an artist, all this clerical stuff. You gotta be a content creator nowadays if you want to be an artist. I get it. This is the digital age. It's what it is. But goddamn, sometimes I just want to paint. Sometimes. Yeah. I'm actually going to drop it in the YouTube chat for you there. Because, yeah. YouTube chat. Also, dude, this has been like my most active chat, guys. Thank you so much. I see Zabazor Makes over on TikTok joining the live. Drop something, Zabazor. I see you lurking, and I'm gonna call you out, Zabazor. I love when you comment on my stuff. Always appreciated. Seeing you jump in the chat, man. So, always a good time. Hell yeah. Also, for the first time in a while, OBS is actually like, it's got its shit together and it's allowing me to be live, and this is awesome. So that has been clutch as hell. So yeah. Hell yeah. Alright. And it's being weird over my phone. But yeah. Come on. I'm dropping a link in the chat for you, Brugod, so you can actually find that book recommendation I have for you. You just got to give me the time, because as I mentioned before, I'm working on an old computer, and I am very desperately working on building a new one. But that costs money. Think this might work as practice, getting two different images, one being a character, and layering the character on top of the other image / background. It really all depends what you're trying to practice. Like I said, if you really want to get good at drawing characters, focus on characters. I think it's definitely have fun with it. Putting the character in a background is always good. But again, I think it really depends on what you are trying to do specifically. So like I said, if you're trying to get better at drawing characters, drawing people, drawing this, focus on those things. Those are going to be the best way to get better at drawing that. So like I said, if you're like, go with Tails like you were showing me earlier, find pictures of those characters, break down the shapes that you see there. I think that is going to be the best way to actually actually get what you need. Brugod, I don't know if you're still watching. If you are, I'm dropping a link in there. This is going to take you to a list of like some of my most recommended books. It is like, this is books that I have in my own personal. Why can't I think of it? This is not pre-recorded. This is currently live, Kadeem. So you are right here. I know I have a lot of my lives on YouTube, so you've joined live, and welcome to the stream. Fucking camera. I love my camera. It's the Knobsbot camera, but whenever I talk and gesticulate with my hands, it zooms in and out. That's a shame. But for those of you who are here, on YouTube, I dropped in the chat. It's a bendable link. I get a little kickback. It's better than trying to figure out freaking Amazon's affiliate thing. This allows me to be affiliate with like a bunch of other things. Like a bunch of these are from Barnes and Noble. But yeah, exactly, Kadeem. Nice. So, but hey, glad you could make it. But like I said, I always want to make sure I have my lives on my channel, so you can check it out later. Like, I'm more than happy to have people watch me rambling and talking for an hour plus. So always, but I appreciate people actually joining the conversation live, because it actually gives me something to talk about. And oh my God, camera, you're moving it so much. I'm so sorry. I can't help it. I gesticulate with my hands way too damn much. We're gonna lock the camera down though, because I am not gonna deal with that BS anymore. But yeah, Kadeem, you're joining in at a good time. We're talking about a few things. Like we're talking about like some of my favorite books that I have in my personal artist library. Some that I have on my need to buy list. I just need to get the money to buy them. Um, our favorite mediums. So if you got anything to add, drop it in the conversation. I would absolutely love to hear what you have to say. I have the wife joining in over on TikTok land. That's adorable. I love you, bro. Kadeem shared your link on his LGBT forum and said to come say hi. Cool. Happy to have you. I'm laughing at you. That's awesome. Like you said, I try to be as much of an ally as freaking possible. Um, it's been like we need more voices for that. It's fucking important, especially in this goddamn world. So thank you for joining. Thank you for there. Well, hey, we can't all love it. So have fun, funny guy. But Koi, I sat here trying to sketch something I struggle with while watching this. Yeah, I mean that's what you gotta do. It's practice, practice, practice. Has been Dean. Hell yeah. I have personally not tried gouache. It seems interesting. Um, just again, not my vibe. I really got stuck in with acrylic paint, and that has been my um, biggest um, key there. Like, it's just once you find something you like, I kind of just stick with it. But with that being said, do not let yourself get stuck in your ways. Let's see. Boop. So, yeah, especially when you're young, go for it. I'll be here when you come back, laughing at you. Um, but yeah, I always forget. I know it's coming up. Pride Month's coming up because I know my sister is bi, so I know she does a lot of that stuff. I haven't. I've never been to a. I will be the first one. I've never been to a pride parade. Not that I crashing out right now. Hey, it's all good, Keo. Like, I'm happy to have you guys. Like, this has been a really awesome. Just having everyone here. Come on. So much appreciated. I'm going to minimize as many windows as possible because I got way too much shit open. There we go. Awesome. You even spelled it wrong. Good for you. Cool. Thanks, everybody. We are just going to do that. You guys gotta have better shit to do. Come on. Let's see. There we go.
You gotta love when the trolls come. Does that mean you're successful when the trolls come into town?
Yeah, we don't. Yeah, I get it. Laughing at you. That's. Does that mean I made it when I got the trolls rolling into town? There you go. Easy enough to do. We can put them in timeout. Let's see. Let's actually go back and see what we got there. I legit all the trolls jumped in. I don't know what's going on. Not you. So laughing at you. What have I come back to? Yeah, I don't know, man. Or I'm sorry. And yeah, I get it. No, it's bullshit. The trolls are out in force tonight. As far as what we should do, I've already blocked them. It's gonna hide a bunch of users. I guess I'm just gonna hang out here. Yeah. Now, laughing at you, I apologize. I'm trying to moderate this chat. I'm one guy, just trying to figure out all this BS. So I apologize that this is something you came back to. Um, Never fun. Uh, Auto framing off. There we go. Happy birthday, Bernie. But yeah, what were we actually talking about before all that came in? Mainly, I write about how I would draw a snowy scene for a book. So you, Keo, you're writing. I mainly write, but how would I draw a? Oh, okay, sorry. I'm going back through everything, trying to find the questions. Yeah, mainly write, but how would I draw a snowy scene for a book I'm writing? Um, let's see. I mean, references. We talked about that before. You can easily find a bunch of reference photos for snow. It really all depends what kind of emotion you're trying to do. Um, like when you actually are looking at the snowy scene, colors. Jesus Christ, people. Should I do art for a book I'm writing if it's a mystery type thing? How should I do art for a book I'm writing if it's a mystery type thing? Is it like, are we saying mystery is in the genre of the book? Or I guess I'm trying to figure out what's that. So, yeah. Sorry, I want to pay attention to all your questions, but obviously trying to moderate all the BS that's going on um, of the chat right now. So I do apologize that that has been taking away from things. How should I do art for a book I'm writing if it's a mystery type thing? Art for a book is weird. Like, obviously, most books have, like, you can get illuminated versions. Um, so I think it's critical to figure out how you're doing that. Um, so, yeah. guys. Yeah, if you're trying to do an illuminated book, it depends on how you do it. You can do it multiple ways. Obviously, full illuminated pages is one way to go about it. But if you mystery genre, okay, how do I do art for a book if I'm writing is a mystery type thing? I mean, it depends on how you want to do it. Like, the mystery genre is really fucking cool. I've been a big on like the horror genre right now. I think it can be really cool to have some pages essentially illuminated, even just small corners, or you can do a full page spread. I've seen a lot of cool books that have like actual, like at the beginning of each chapter or section, you have just, here is a page. It kind of sets the scene. So it really depends on what you're trying to do. Like, what kind of scene are you attempting to set in the grand scheme of things? I wish I had a better answer for that question. Because, yeah, drawing for a genre might be a bit more in the grand scheme of things than doing it for like a specific, like if you know, like, hey, this is the book, these are the characters, that you can attack it in that manner to actually work within there. So definitely something to consider in that. Yeah, I guess I need more. Like, that's one of the things when you're like, I'm not the one who's writing the book, so I can't really, I would need some kind of brief to actually figure out what you're trying to go for. But yeah, definitely, I think if we're talking mood, for a book, you definitely want a dark, like, mystery generally implies a darker mood. I think that would be where you want to first look at things there. Yeah. Like, I realize this is like, what, you never judge a book by its cover, but check out what other mystery books are out there and what they're doing. Obviously, mystery is a weird genre in and of itself because there's so many subgenres of like, oh, here's the doing all that stuff. I'd like it to be Kettlebell. Obviously, I'm trying to control people in the chat. I need to set up some hardcore moderation, apparently. Jack Black. Sorry, I'm trying to catch up on anything. Burger Planet sent me here. I mean, you tell me, man. I'm just a dude in a studio chatting with a bunch of cool people so far, regardless of the trolls who wanted to join in. Like I said, Kettlebell, I am an ally myself, so I try to be. I try to do as much moderation in the chat as possible, so I apologize if anything you've seen in the chat is not to your standard. That is not what I want to see, so I've been going through as much as possible and removing, because it's a bunch of BS. Savages in my town. My agent dropped me when I pitched a book about segregation told through the... Yeah. Yeah. Back at it again. Let's see. Ooh. Let's get this one. Oh, hide user on that. Hide. Yeah, I'm working as fast as I can. Like I'm gonna go through and make sure shit is blocked. Alright, I didn't even spell. Yeah, I know spelling obviously does not seem to be their strong suit. Savages, yeah. I, yeah, yeah. I'm doing my damnedest. It's his birthday this weekend. Any chance you can give him a birthday shout out? He is also an aspiring artist. His name is Nick Gerson. Thank you. He's turning 15. Happy 15th birthday, Nick Gerson. I'm hoping it gets better for you. I apologize for the idiots in the chat, but that's awesome that you're an aspiring artist. Like you said, I've been doing the whole art thing for since I was 7. Like I said, I had a really good art teacher um, who has been amazing in my growth as an artist. Yeah, yeah, I do need a mod. Savages. Just stuck. So character plot right now. I'm just stuck. Yeah, I get it, Keo. Yeah. Hey, thank you. You want to troll? At least learn to spell. Yeah, seriously, the trolls do lack the drawing. Kettlebell. Yeah, I desperately need a mod. Kettlebell. That's something I'm going to work on, Nick. We are going to hide. There we go. Like I expect everyone, all these people to come back. Like they're idiots enough to want to do this stuff. Um, but yeah, Kettlebell, thank you. Like again, thank you for hopping in here. Happy birthday again to your son. 15 is crazy being a teenager. I got a 3-year-old, so it's definitely being a parent is absolutely been a journey, and it's helped just with a lot of perspective stuff. Cancel. Uh, yeah. All right. I think got most of them. What time is it? I actually appreciate all you guys jumping in the chat. You guys have been the majority of you have been, except for a select few who have now been booted. Jesus Christ. Awesome. Well, I appreciate that. God. Too much. Whew. All right. Jesus Christ. All right. Making content. It's 4 a.m. You don't want. Yep. Way too many damn trolls tonight. So I think we're gonna wrap up this. Yeah, we're gonna wrap up this live. I am gonna figure out some better moderation. Yeah, check IP2, new one. Yeah. We're gonna have to work out some kinks, get some better moderation on this, see if I can set some auto moderation up too, because that was a lot, guys. But for all of you who stuck around and actually asked some solid questions, I do appreciate what you guys have been doing, and appreciate the chat we've been able to have tonight. It's been sick. I think overall successful stream. I wish I got more work done with you guys, but you guys have been asking. Those of you who actually have been on have been asking some really good fucking questions. Hopefully I got all of them. And all I know is I got to go back and like block a bunch of people. So fun times for me. But yeah, hopefully this hasn't put you off the stream and the content. Hopefully, guys, like the actual ones who want to stick around, crash out on my book and have to rewrite it 5 times because I keep trying to lead on my iPad and I can't draw it. Yeah, I hear you. You gotta. Sometimes you gotta take a mental pause from the creative stuff you're working on. Keo, I get it. I write it 5 times because I kept trying to leave my iPad and I can't draw the background. I appreciate you wanting to draw yourself too, but also, I mean, obviously, I don't know how old you are, how far along you are on this. Having artists and people who can do stuff for that and collaborate is really good to have. So, yeah, make sure to do that stuff. All right, yeah, guys, I appreciate it. Keo, I'm gonna say it's especially since 4 a.m. Go to bed. Appreciate you hanging about. Sorry you had to do all this, but yeah, it has been a good stream. Regardless, I appreciate everyone who's popped in. Sorry, YouTube, for whatever the hell that was. But yeah, guys, have a great night. appreciate you all hopping on. And as I always like to say in my videos, if you haven't already subscribed, go for it. Stay weird, our kids. Love seeing you. Peace.